Hello friends, welcome to Manu Law Classes. Today in this video we are going to discuss the important news from the Hindu edition of 17th April 2023. आज के न्यूज़पेपर में जो हम डिस्कस करेंगे about the G7 commitment to quit fossil fuel faster by 2030 they have committed. तो यहाँ पे हम G7 के बारे में भी पढ़ेंगे, इसके मेंबर्स के बारे में भी पढ़ेंगे, इसकी समिट कहाँ होने वाली है 2023 में. We are going to do that. Along with that, the importance of this agreement which has been proposed by the G7 members. Along with that, we will also study Gulf Cooperation Council, okay, the members of the Gulf Cooperation Council on the editorial page, along with the new Saudi-Iran rapprochement and the start of the diplomatic ties between them under the China mediation. तो ये टॉपिक जो है जो बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है, जो वेस्ट एशिया के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, जियो पॉलिटिक्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है. And such topics are asked in exams, especially in CLAT, where you can get a passage. Based on that, you have to give the answers. Okay. Along with that, we will study about the Kaziranga National Park, which got the UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985. तो यहाँ पे आर्मी ने कुछ प्रपोज किया है, which is very important for saving the one-horned rhinos in Kaziranga National Park. So let's start with the news. The first is UP government forms judicial commission to investigate killing of Atik and brother. So gangster turned politician Atik and his brother, they were killed in Prayagraj. Now the Uttar Pradesh government, they have established a commission headed by retired Allahabad High Court Judge Arvind Kumar Tripathi, retired Judge Vijesh Kumar Soni, and former Director General of Police Subhesh Kumar Singh. These are the three members of the judicial commission established by Uttar Pradesh government. Now, incident क्या था? That Ahmed and Azim, they both were accused in Umesh Pal murder case. They were dead by three men who were posing as a journalist on Saturday night when police team was escorting them to a hospital in Prayagraj for checkup. Now, from environment, army may build Bailey bridges in Kaziranga to protect rhinos domain. So Bailey bridge जो आर्मी का एक्सपर्टाइज है इस टाइप के ब्रिजेस को बनाने में, वर्ल्ड वॉर में ये ब्रिजेस काफ़ी ज़्यादा बनाए जाते थे. सो ये बहुत ब्रिजेस जो होती हैं बहुत फास्ट बनती हैं. ओके, सो नाउ आर्मी दे आर गोइंग टू बिल्ड बैले ब्रिजेस इन काजीरंगा नेशनल पार्क एंड टाइगर रिजर्व. तो इसका एम क्या है, ताकि जो फॉरेस्ट पर्सनल्स हैं हु आर गार्डिंग दी एरियाज विच आर दी हैबिटेट ऑफ ग्रेट वन ऑन राइनो विच इज फाउंड इन इंडिया, उसको वहाँ पे जल्दी से पहुँचा जा सके. Okay, so it will enable faster movement of forest guards in strategic vulnerable pockets of one-horned rhino domain. Now, if you will see this paragraph, so the bridges, they are expected to shorten the routes to the vulnerable pockets and facilitate better coordination among the forest guards who are operating the anti-poaching camps. So, काजीरंगा में जो greater one-horned rhino होता है, उसका जो tusk होता है, it has aphrodisiac value. Aphrodisiac value means it is used for medicinal purposes, especially as an aphrodisiac. Aphrodisiacs are those substances which increases the sexual power. So Kaziranga, to stop the poaching of greater one-horned rhino, they have 223 anti-poaching camps. and many problem क्या होता है कि काजीरंगा जो है जब भी ब्रह्मपुत्र में फ्लड आता है तो काजीरंगा में भी फ्लड आता है. सो 223 एंटी पोचिंग कैंप्स में से बहुत सारे कैंप्स ऐसे होते हैं जो फ्लड के टाइम इनएक्सेसिबल हो जाते हैं. And then the rhinos in these areas, they are more vulnerable to poaching. Now about the Kaziranga National Park. So Kaziranga, if you will see, it is a national park and tiger reserve. It is the habitat for hangouls, greater one-horned rhino, great one-horned rhino in India. Then also it is a tiger reserve, and then it was declared as the UNESCO World Heritage Site in natural category in 1985. Now काजीरंगा नेशनल पार्क, अगर एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आए कि ये कौन से स्टेट में है, सो योर आंसर विल बी असम. The next, murder of law and order. So this is again about the Atik Ahmed murder and his brother's murder. Okay, now let's come to the paragraph, the second paragraph, which is very important. Now see, according to UP police, 183 alleged criminals have been gunned down in encounters in last 6 years. Then more than 10,900 police encounters have taken place since March 2017. Now, due process is central to any rule of law, and once that is allowed to be short-circuited, the result is chaos. This is the view. Due process of law मतलब कि अगर आप देखेंगे तो ड्यू प्रोसेस ऑफ लॉ क्या है कि अरेस्ट करो क्रिमिनल को, दैट इज द जॉब ऑफ पुलिस. अब उसे सजा क्या होगी, that will be decided by court, right? So the UP police and administration have stretched the limits of their legitimate power by the dubious and discriminatory application of law and process. ठीक है, तो जैसे कि कुछ हाइलाइट्स हैं, लाइक डिमोलिशन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ पीपल सस्पेक्टेड ऑफ क्राइम और पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन पॉलिटिकल प्रोटेस्ट हैज बिकम रूटीन इन उत्तर प्रदेश. द नेक्स्ट इज नॉट अ विसल ब्लोअर. सो यहाँ पे है कि इट इज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द 2023 पेंटागन लीक्स. सो we have done this news earlier also that US federal authorities, they have arrested Jack Teixeira, who is aged 21 and he is the member of Air National Guard, and he has been arrested in the case of leaking the classified information of the Pentagon. Pentagon क्या है यहाँ पे, it is a defense headquarter of US. So this documents, they were leaked on social media in recent months. Okay, so यहाँ पे अगर जो डेटा जो लीक हुआ है, it has led to insecurity between US and its allies. For example, there are sensitive data regarding the war efforts in Ukraine, which is potentially undermining Kyiv's plan to push back the Russian invasion. डेटा में ऐसा है कि US को डाउट है यूक्रेन रशिया से लड़ सकता है कि नहीं. Okay, now these data they were released on social media websites Discord and 4chan in March this year. Then there is also the confidential information related to South Korea, Israel, and nations of West Asia and Africa. Then assessment of China's developing cyber attack capabilities. All this information, which are classified information for any country, it has been leaked. Now coming to the next paragraph. Now here the author delineates the act of Mr. Teixeira from Chelsea Manning or Edward Snowden. They say that the latest leak of US federal government information, it lacks the moral clarity. जैसे कि जो एडवर्ड स्नोडेन का जो विकीलीक था उसमें एक मोरल अंडरपिनिंग थी, दैट व्हाई दे आर डूइंग दैट. देयर वाज एन एथिकल अंडरपिनिंग अंडर द विकीलीक्स एंड NSA ग्लोबल सर्वेलेंस एक्सपोज. बट इफ यू विल सी here that why this data has been leaked by Mr. Teixeira, the intention is not known. Now coming to the very important article, diplomacy with change in terms of reference. So here we are talking about basically Middle East, और यू कैन से वेस्ट एशिया. तो यहाँ पे स्टोरी क्या है, वेस्ट एशिया को अगर आप ध्यान से देखें तो दो कंट्रीज जो हैं which are arch rivals, they suspended their diplomatic relationship. Now they are going to resume it under China's mediation, that is Saudi Arabia and Iran. Okay, that also under China's mediation. Now this has shocked the world basically. Now how it has shocked the world, अगर आप देखेंगे कि यूएस और इजराइल का इंटेंशन क्या था, दैट दे वांटेड टू क्रिएट एंटी ईरान एक्सिस इन मिडिल ईस्ट. ओके, Israel was hoping that US will help Israel in creating anti-Iran axis. If you will see the Abraham Accord, ये पेपर में मेंशन नहीं है, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ. अब्राहम अकॉर्ड साइन हुआ था 2020 में. इट वाज मेडिएटेड बाय यूएस एंड इट रेज्यूम्ड द डिप्लोमेटिक रिलेशनशिप एंड ट्रेड टाइज बिटवीन इजराइल, UAE on one side and the other countries like Morocco, Sudan, Beirut, etc. Now अब यहाँ पे देखिए सऊदी अरेबिया जो है उसने अब्राहम अकॉर्ड को ज्वाइन नहीं किया इन, ठीक है. अब उसने क्या किया कि उसने ईरान के साथ रिप्रोचमेंट किया अपना अंडर चाइनीज मेडिएशन. फाइन. सो व्हाई दिस हैज हैपेंड, सो बिकॉज ऑफ डीप्रायोरिटाइजेशन ऑफ वेस्ट एशिया बाय यूएसए. ओके, सो हियर नाउ सऊदी अरेबिया जो है वो चाइना की तरफ शिफ्ट हुआ है. फाइन. नाउ इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि जो यूएस का एफर्ट था टू आइसोलेट ईरान इन मिडल ईस्ट, ओके, दैट हैज फेल्ड. नाउ कमिंग टू द बैकग्राउंड कि ये हुआ कैसे. नाउ इफ यू विल सी that bilateral efforts to revive the relationship between Saudi Arabia and Iran was going since 2016. Okay, so the revival of relationship between Tehran, that is Iran, Riyadh, that is Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, that is UAE, and generally within Gulf Cooperation Council in relation to Yemen and Syria, it was taking place. It was led by Amir of Kuwait and Sultan of Oman. Now it was followed by talks in Baghdad and when Iranian president visited China in February. So यहाँ पे जो major concern था वो ये था कि that the Houthi rebels, they were carrying out attack on the oil infrastructure of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, bleeding them economically. So there was the urge to end this conflict. Now why and what is the role of Iran in this? Because if you will see the Houthi rebels, okay, so Houthi rebels, they are controlling the capital Sana'a of Yemen, and they are backed by Iran. So once ईरान स्टॉप सपोर्टिंग देम, सो दे विल नॉट बी एबल टू कैरी आउट अटैक्स. इसी से रिलेटेड क्या है कि अब हाउथी रेबल्स के साथ एक सीज फायर फ्रेमवर्क भी बनने की कोशिश हो रही है कि ताकि जो हॉस्टिलिटीज है उसको एंड किया जाए. देन इफ यू विल सी दैट देयर वाज द ऑफिशियल विजिट ऑफ चाइनीज प्रेसिडेंट शी जिनपिंग टू सऊदी अरेबिया इन December 2022, and he also attended first China Arab State Summit and China GCC Summit. इसका जो थीम था वो बहुत कुछ हमें बताता है, that is building on past achievement and jointly creating a brighter future of China GCC relation. Now this summit, it laid the stress on 5 priority areas which is very crucial for China also and the Gulf countries also. The first one is energy cooperation. China is the largest market. Then finance and investment, then innovation, science and technology, then aerospace cooperation, and then followed by Chinese language and cultural cooperation. Then these countries, they developed an action plan for 2023-2027. Okay, and there was a strategic partnership agreement with specific agreements and memoranda of understandings which was signed, deepening the relationship between China and certain countries of Middle East. Now coming to the India stand. So India's reaction has been restrained. India already has historical linkages with these countries, and they are also the principal source of hydrocarbon for India and investment. So and important destination of manpower export and major trading partner and projects. तो यहाँ पे जो इंडिया का जो फोकस है वो मल्टीलैटरलिज्म पे नहीं है, वो बायलैटरलिज्म पे है. इफ यू विल सी that the official policy of India, it has focused on bilateral relations and avoiding the involvement in bilateral and regional disputes. So India has consciously refrained from speculative ventures in alternate security architectures apart from supporting the cooperative security and freedom of waterways and of navigation. Now over here if you will see that the Gulf Cooperation Council के बारे में बात हो रही है. गल्फ कोऑपरेशन काउंसिल, ये जो गल्फ कोऑपरेशन काउंसिल का जो एम है ये कुछ इस तरीके से है जैसे कि जो यूरोपियन यूनियन में जो हम देखते हैं एक मॉनेटरी यूनियन, देयर इज अ कस्टम यूनियन, देयर इज अ मॉनेटरी यूनियन. सो गल्फ कोऑपरेशन काउंसिल, they aim to create a custom and monetary union and having a same single currency for the members of the Gulf Cooperation Council. Gulf Cooperation Council का जो हेडक्वार्टर है वो रियाद में है, that is in Saudi Arabia. Okay, and then the prominent countries of West Asia, they are members of Gulf Cooperation Council. Now coming to on democratizing tiger conservation, that is Project Tiger. So before starting this, let's have some brief background about Project Tiger. So Project Tiger, it was launched in 1973. When it was launched, India had 9 tiger reserves. Okay, and now India has 54 tiger reserves, under which 75,000 square kilometer of area are protected for tigers. The 50th year of Project Tiger, okay, we are celebrating in 2023. And now if you will see the population of tiger in India, it is 3167, which is again 75% of global population of tiger. 75% of global population of tiger. Okay, now coming to this article. Okay, so this article talks about that how in a much better way we can protect our tigers. Okay, so if you will see that the article says that much of the success of wildlife conservation in India, it has been attributed to a legislation which was passed in 1972, that is called as Wildlife Protection Act. Okay, so this legislation has helped to and then Project Tiger was launched next year in 1973, which has been able to bring tiger back from the brink of extinction. Okay, now if you will see that the number which has been released as the part of the fifth cycle of All India Tiger Estimation. So it says that in last 10 to 12 years, the tiger population has increased by 25 to 30% with 6% annual growth rate. In 2018 अगर हम देखेंगे तो जो tiger population था, it was 2967. Now, if we just see that in 2006, the tiger estimated were only 1400 plus. Now, if we see the data 3167, so many scientists they are not impressed by the figures, but they are happy that Project Tiger was able to hold on the tiger population. But there are certain risks. The risks are like there is decline in population of tiger in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Eastern Ghats, and Northeastern forest. Okay, if we are losing this tigers from these areas, it means we are also losing the genetic diversity of tiger. Okay, then tiger is considered as an umbrella species. What is the umbrella species? मतलब कि if we save the tiger, it means we save the entire ecosystem. That is called as umbrella species. कि अगर हम टाइगर पे फोकस अगर करें तो टाइगर जो है वो टॉप कॉर्निवोर है. ओके, सो इट इज़ अ टर्शरी कंज्यूमर या उसके भी ऊपर आता है. सो इट इज प्राइमरी देन सेकेंडरी देन टर्शरी. सो इफ वी सेव दिस टॉप कार्निवोर और टर्शरी कंज्यूमर, it means we are also saving the secondary and primary consumer in the ecosystem. Now, if you will see that tiger habitats in India, there is a wide range of habitats from evergreen forest of the Western Ghats to the terai grasslands of the Himalayan foothills, then tropical dry forest of Rajasthan to the mangroves of Sundarban. Now, if you will see the habitats of tigers, they are different. So definitely, not all of them will support the same density of tigers. For example, if you will see the density wise, so Jim Corbett National Park has the highest density of tiger in India, but not all habitat, because they are differing, so they are not all habitat are going to support the same number of tigers. So there has been an example given over here. जैसे कि अगर आप देखेंगे कि टाइगर का को बचाने के लिए एक जो पॉलिसी फॉलो की गई है इंडिया में, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज चीतलिफिकेशन. मतलब इंक्रीजिंग द नंबर ऑफ चीतल विच इज प्रे फॉर टाइगर. Okay, and these are the ecotone species. Ecotone species क्या होता है? Those species which are found in the transition zone of to ecosystem. अब हम यहाँ पे अगर एक एग्जाम्पल देखें कान्हा टाइगर रिजर्व का, तो वहाँ पे क्या हुआ कि चीतल का पॉपुलेशन इतना ज़्यादा बढ़ गया कि बारहसिंगा के ऊपर इम्पैक्ट पड़ने लगा. दैट नाउ बारहसिंगा को डिफिकल्टी होने लगी बिकॉज दे डिपेंड ऑन टॉल ग्रास. सो जो कान्हा नेशनल पार्क में फिर एक स्पेशल स्पेस क्रिएट किया गया ताकि बारहसिंगा को रिप्रोड्यूस एंड रिकवर देयर नंबर्स. द नेक्स्ट इज डिसेंट्रलाइजिंग द कंजर्वेशन. सो अगर आप देखेंगे कि जो कंजर्वेशन टेक्निक है इंडिया में, that is entirely dependent upon protected areas. Okay, so these protected areas, these are exclusive conservation model. Fine, but there are ordinary Indians, especially those who live closest to wildlife and who have often paid the price for it, and but they have very little say in conservation. So the talk can be कि हमें एक ऐसा फ्रेमवर्क बनाना चाहिए दैट अलाउ लोकल कम्युनिटीज, सिटीजन, साइंटिस्ट, नॉन गवर्नमेंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस एंड बिजनेसेस टू पार्टिसिपेट meaningfully in the conservation. How can we start it? Like reserve forest, which comes under the jurisdiction of state forest department, they can be co-managed with an inclusive approach which provides economic benefits for local communities also. The next is Substack Links. So what is Substack? So Substack, it was launched in 2017, which is an online publishing platform. तो इसमें क्या होता है कि जो राइटर्स या पॉडकास्टर्स होते हैं, दे कैन पब्लिश एंड शेयर कंटेंट डायरेक्टली विद देयर टारगेट ऑडियंस. तो यहाँ पे होता है कि दैट प्लेटफॉर्म जो है वो कंटेंट क्रिएटर्स को अलाउ करता है टू जनरेट इनकम डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम द सब्सक्राइबर्स, एंड फॉर रीडर्स एंड लिसनर्स द प्लेटफॉर्म इट प्रोवाइड्स इजी वे टू एक्सेस कंटेंट एंड सपोर्ट इंडिविजुअल क्रिएटर्स. अब यहाँ पे अगर जो क्रिएटर्स होते हैं, इफ दे वांट टू बिल्ड देयर प्रोफाइल ऑन सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स, दे ऑफन शेयर देयर लिंक ऑन ट्विटर. So the content creators, they look to social media platform to create additional engagement with readers and listeners. So what they do, they create post links on Twitter, Facebook and other prominent social media for interested users. But now what is the news? The news is that the Substack has said that the embeds and authentication of links had stopped working on Twitter. So Twitter has, so many users, they have complained that Substack links on Twitter were marked as possibly unsafe. Now, what are the subscriber base of Twitter? So the news platform claims that it has 35 million active subscriptions to writers on platform. Now see, why did Twitter block this link? तो यहाँ पे देखिए, Twitter has been trying hard to get more subscriber to its own Blue subscription, which it has launched since November 2022. And if you will see that there are many reports from, especially from Statista, which says that Twitter's own monthly active user base stood at 368 million worldwide, and it is expected to see a drop to around 335 million users in 2024. Also, the advertising revenue of Twitter is also dropping. Now, if you see that what is Substack Notes, so Substack ने announce किया April 5 को that they are going to launch the Substack Notes, which will provide users with a platform to post short form content while using recommendations to drive discovery. Okay, now see this. In December 2022, Twitter in a post said that it would no longer allow users to promote their presence on other social media platforms, which includes Facebook, Instagram, Mastodon, Truth, Social, Tribal, Nostr, or Post. So it has said that it would take action against users that violate the policy at both the tweet level and account level. Now, the next news is from Environment. G7 ministers commit to work for carbon-free electricity by 2035. So G7 countries, so the members of G7 are Japan, USA, Canada, UK, France, Germany, Italy. European Union as a non-enumerative member is also represented in the G7 summit. So G7 climate and energy ministers and envoys from G7 countries, they have committed to work towards ensuring carbon-free electricity production by 2035 and accelerating the phase out of coal. So they have agreed to this agreement at the summit held in Sapporo in Japan. Now this year G7 summit is going to be held in Hiroshima in Japan. Now what other things they have said which is important to us, that they are going to accelerate solar and wind energy investment to produce 1000 gigawatt by 2030 from solar power and 150 gigawatt of wind power from offshore platforms. Now coming from foreign page, two news are very important. One is Olkiluoto 3, which is going to be Europe's largest nuclear reactor in Finland. So it has started its operation and hours after Germany ended its nuclear era. So it is currently generating 14% of Finland's power and it is going to be remain operational for next 60 years. The next is appointments. So Nepali Congress leader Narayan Prasad Saud has been sworn in as the new Nepal's foreign minister. The next is 61 dead after clashes between army and rivals enter second day. So we are talking about Sudan. So if you will see the Sudan में देखिए problem क्या है. The clashes which are taking part, it is a ongoing power struggle between two people. One is General Abdel Fattah Burhan, who is the commander of the armed forces, and the next is General Muhammad Hamdan Daglo, who is the head of the Rapid Support Forces group. Now these two generals, they were part of the October 2021 military coup that derailed the Sudan's transition to democracy. Now if you will see that Volker Perthes, who is a UN envoy for Sudan, he has announced that both General Burhan and General Dagalo have agreed to 3-hour humanitarian pause in fighting on Sunday. The next is Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has proposed the joint mediation with China and United Arab Emirates for stopping the Russia's war in Ukraine. So he is proposing something like a political G20, that other countries should also come. Just like a G20 we have, we should also have a political G20 to stop this war. Then he has also said a very important thing, that dollar's dominance in global trade. So he is calling for a new currency for transaction between BRICS countries. Now which are BRICS countries? Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Now BRICS has its own bank which is called as New Development Bank, where Egypt has become its latest member, and the new president is Dilma Rousseff, who was the former president of Brazil. So friends, that's all for today. We will meet tomorrow again with a daily Hindu analysis. Till then, have a nice time. Take care. Thank you.